Hello, welcome to my presentation. My name is Hayley Brooke and this is my presentation on the roles and responsibilities of being a midwife. So what we'll do first is we'll go on to the first slide, which is recent changes and their impact on the role and responsibilities of the midwife. So in 2016, Better Births realised that there were 7 essential areas to work on. Those areas were personalised care, continuity of carer, safer care, better postnatal and perinatal mental health care, multi-professional working, working across boundaries, and a fair and adequate payment system. So we'll look through these more in a little bit of a detail here. So personalised care, providing care for the specific needs of the mother, baby and family, creating a customised plan for all her health needs. Just making a note of all her wishes, all her concerns. Will just make her feel confident in the care that she's receiving, gain our trust, and with making sure that we go through her wishes and just making sure that we are there for that person that we are caring for. Continuity of carer, which means to provide safe care based on mutual trust and respect in accordance with the woman's wishes. And also continuity of carer means having the same care nurses and midwives care for you throughout your pregnancy and also throughout the birth and delivery of your child. That way you know the person that is caring for you, you've developed a good relationship with that person, that person knows your background, they know you, and they've developed a relationship with you. It just gives you a better understanding of that person, their needs, and what is expected of yourselves from that person. Next, we will look at safer care. So, professionals collaborating successfully will ensure that the correct care is given at the right time. Referral processes are in place to guarantee the mother and baby's care. Next, we have better postnatal and perinatal mental health care. So a significant level of investment into community mental health service was required to ensure postnatal care is well funded. So women can see their midwife however long is needed to. If they have any complications within their birth or throughout their pregnancy, the help is there for when they need it. Some people don't need, so much aftercare, but some people do, so it just gives you the confidence of knowing that the care is there if you need it. And finally, where are we? Multi-professional working. A better level of care is provided for the mother and baby as long as the communication between all the professionals. It just means a level of openness and transparency. They understand and respect each other's talents and perspective. So that's multi-professional working. Working across boundaries. So working across boundaries will provide choice, it provides safety, and it provides access to the specialist care when you need it the most. And finally, on here we have a fair and adequate payment system. So that's just making sure that all midwives get the pay that they deserve, that is fair to them, because midwives have a very hard job of making sure that they deliver into high standards at all times, and the pay needs to reflect the hard work that they put in. So that is the recent changes and their impact that they have on the responsibilities and the role of the midwife. We'll go on to the next slide, which is the effectiveness of the multidisciplinary approach in the healthcare system. So what I've done here, I've just done a side of advantages and a side of disadvantages. So we're just going to have a look through, and we'll work through the advantages first. And then after we've done the advantages, we'll have a look at the disadvantages and see what goes there, okay? So we'll go into the advantages. So the first one is many opinions. Sense of partnership working within the team. So having a sense of partnership can help you feel a sense of belonging. It can help you feel part of the team. It can help you feel not alone in the decisions you're making or the care that you are giving. It just gives you a sense of partnership. Sharing professional knowledge, so working within a group, if you all share your knowledge between each other, it's just going to help you and your colleagues together. You will get to learn and get an insight into their job roles, what they do, what their responsibilities that they have, and it just gains your confidence in the job role that you're doing, and you get a little insight into the other job roles around the colleagues around you. And next we have interact with other clinicians, increases patient confidence, management is more effective, protocols become embedded in practice, enables continuous audit of care, interventions and outcome, and finally sharing ideas, which I think is a really good one. Sharing ideas between a team can really help gain your confidence and your knowledge of what you're learning. Communicating with your colleagues and different clinicians can really help you learn and grow within your own job role and help you gain the knowledge of other people and your colleagues around you. So there's many advantages, but there are also many disadvantages too. So here, let's have a look. Shared goals overshadow individual goals. Unfortunately, working in a team, your goals will get overshadowed. Whereas if you are working alone, I think you would stand out a lot more. Whereas in a team, yeah, I understand that one. So traditional power base is weakened in relation to acquire resources, insufficient time for clinical management and team building. Problems defining boundaries within the team, that's a big disadvantage. You've got to know your job role, your colleague's job role, your responsibilities, your colleagues' responsibilities. It just helps you not stand on anyone's toes, and just make sure that you're all in the right area and you all know what you're doing. It makes the team work smoothly, and it just helps the health setting run a lot smoother if everybody knows their job role, other people's job roles, and it just helps define who is doing what within the team. Difficulties with balancing and listening to individual contributions. Again, like the shared goals, it can get overshadowed as an individual if you do work as part of a team. Mature teams also do get frustrated with the NHS structure. So that is the effectiveness of the multidisciplinary approach in a healthcare setting, the advantages and also the disadvantages. Next, we're going to go on the code and the midwifery practice. So the code is professional standards of practice and behaviour for nurses, midwives and nursing associates. And basically the code states that you must always prioritise people, practice effectively, preserve safety, and finally promote professionalism and trust. So we'll go further down here and we'll start from the beginning and we'll go into detail about the prioritised people. So midwives must prioritise the care and safety of women and their families, those receiving care. Make sure they are always treated with respect. Treat them as individuals and always uphold their dignity. Listen to people, respond to their preferences or any concerns that they might have. Ensure that their physical, social and psychological needs are always assessed and responded to. Act in the best interests of people at all times. Respect people's rights to privacy and obviously confidentiality. Next we have practice effectively. Midwives must assess, deliver treatment to the best of their ability. Always practice in line with the best evidence available. Make sure you communicate clearly. Work cooperatively. Always keep clear and accurate records relevant to your practice. Be accountable for any decisions that you make. Share the skills, knowledge and experience for the benefit of the people receiving your care and your colleagues. Preserve safety. So midwives must ensure public safety is protected and work within the limits of their own competence, exercising their professional duty of conduct and raise any concern straight away if they do encounter situations that may put the public safety at risk. Act without delay. Always offer help in an emergency. If an emergency arises, just respond straight away. Respond to any concerns that you have become aware of. And please please act without delay. Raise concerns of any vulnerable people that you may think are at risk, and if you can and where you can, always advise on prescribing, supplying, dispensing or administering any medicines, but always make sure you do that within the limits of the training that you have been given. Okay, so there are the 4 most important factors that the code states that you must do whilst practicing midwifery. Next, we will look at the effective communication in a disciplinary setting. We'll go back. I do apologise. I promote professionalism and trust. Midwives must uphold the reputation of the profession at all times. Make sure they fulfil all the registration requirements. Uphold your position as a registered nurse or midwife. Cooperate with any investigations. Respond to any complaints that have been made against you professionally. Provide leadership to ensure people's well-being is protected and to improve their experience of the healthcare system while they are being cared for by us in the healthcare setting. So there we have it. Promote professionalism and trust. I do apologise about that. Now we have on to the next slide, effective communication in a multidisciplinary healthcare setting. So be a role model for compassion and effective communication. Gain knowledge, share the expertise that you have with your colleagues around you. Be kind, be respectful, compassionate and polite. Improving your decision making between the healthcare professionals. And finally, care, compassion and effective communication are all essential factors which will be help for an effective communication in a multidisciplinary healthcare setting. Next, we have the midwife in meeting the psychological, social and physical, social and psychological needs of a woman and her surrounding family. So assess for risks where necessary. Meet the needs of the woman at every stage of her pregnancy. So just making sure that you are fully aware of the person that you are caring for, making sure you're aware of her background, making sure you're aware of the support that she may or not be getting at home. So just making sure that throughout each stage that you are there, making notes, writing it down, records, so that you're fully aware of everything that the person you are caring for needs, and obviously to assess for any risks. And that can change throughout the pregnancy, so you have to make sure that you assess throughout so that you can make sure you get the right results. Next, we have changes in life, which can lead to psychological stresses in pregnancy. So risk assessments are very, very important. For example, things in life can change while you're pregnant. You may get pregnant and have a family, have a job, have a husband. Anything can change in life, as we all know. You may lose your job, you may lose your partner. Anything really can change throughout your life at any moment. So just making sure that you have spoken to the person you're caring for. You are making sure, that any changes in her life have been addressed and that she feels that she has the support there as well. So next we can look at pregnancy, labour and childbirth can result in life-threatening situations for both mum and baby. Again, this is very serious. Pregnancy, labour and childbirth can result in life-threatening situations. So just making sure that you are doing everything correctly, checking all the information correctly, making sure that the person you're caring for is giving the information that you need, just to make sure that the support and care is in place for her when she needs it. We also have antenatal care screening, which is to discover determinants of health that could impact the pregnant woman. So just making sure that you're checking and making sure that she's okay. Psychological hazards, for example, poverty. If you don't have much family support system outside of the nurses and the midwives, domestic violence or issues with mental health, these issues can all impact the physical, social and psychological needs of the woman that you are caring for. So just making sure that you, again, know as much about the person that you can. Speak to her to gather that information, make detailed records so that you are aware of things, just to make sure that the person isn't going in a domestic violence situation, to make sure that if she does have a mental illness, this can be addressed. This is written down in her notes so that anybody else caring for her is just aware of everything that she's going through, the situation she's in, and the support that she does or does not have. Those are all very important to make sure the woman that you're caring for and family and baby get the correct care, and that we are aware of anything. And not just that, psychological hazards can sometimes impact a woman's request for help. They may be shy, embarrassed, not want to talk, private. There are many reasons why somebody may not want to tell you certain things about their life, which is understandable, but at the same time our job is here to make sure they're safe, make sure their baby's safe, make sure they're supported, they've got everything that they need, and we can only do that with the information that we've been given. So we've got to really try and get these risk assessments spot on when we are doing them, just to make sure that we give the correct care that is needed, and just to keep the woman safe, healthy, and the baby safe and healthy, and make sure that they have the support. If they don't have it at home, we can make sure we give them that extra support here with the nurses and the midwifery, tips, advice, anything they need. We are here to help erase any of these stresses or psychological hazards that may be an issue whilst you are in your pregnancy. And once again, all this, make sure that you change the care throughout the stages of pregnancy, making sure that you do get the information throughout every stage, as things can change throughout the pregnancy. Next, finally, we will look at the Nursing and Midwifery Council, the NMC. So the Nursing and Midwifery Council is the regulator for nursing and midwifery professionals in the UK. The main duties of the NMSC is to maintain a register with all nurses and midwives eligible to practice in the UK. So if you train to become a midwife, you need to make sure that all your details have been entered on the NMC, just to make sure that you're on there for your safety, public safety, and it just helps. So they are also there to set and review standards for the education and training, conduct and performance of midwives, and to investigate all allegations of impaired fitness to practice. It ensures high standards for compassionate care. But basically their job is to protect the public and all midwives that are working in the UK, and to make sure that all midwives are registered with them. It just makes sure that the high standards, compassionate care and safe responsive care is always upheld. It's very important. So when joining the register and then renewing the registration, nurses, midwives and nursing associates commit to holding these standards. It's very important. This commitment to professional standards is fundamental to being part of the profession, and it's quite serious because action can be taken if you don't fail to uphold the code and fail to uphold what the code stands for. You may, only in serious cases, but you may be removed from the register. So just making sure that you take it very seriously and you always give 100% whilst you're on this register, doing your job being a midwife. It just provides safety for you and for the people that you are caring for. So it's very important to maintain the standards, the high standards of care training whilst you are a midwife. So yeah, that is my presentation today. I hope you all have enjoyed it. Thank you very much for staying with me. See you later.